Hey everyone, Coolman1 here. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys my fan casts for a live-action modern Sonic movie, Part 2. Yup, that's right, there's a sequel. So, for those of you who haven't seen the first part, in the first part of my live-action modern Sonic fan casts, I fan casted the four main characters in the franchise, which are also the characters in my live-action modern Sonic poster, which are, of course, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman. But now, I'm going to be fan casting characters from the Shadow the Hedgehog game. So, for those of you who are familiar with the Shadow game, and if you enjoy the Shadow game, then you're gonna love this video, because I have some pretty interesting fan casts for these characters. So fan casting Shadow, as well as the other characters in the game, is gonna be really fun. And yes, I could do a pretty good Shadow impression. So without further ado, let's get on to my fan cast for a live-action modern Sonic movie, Part 2, The Shadow Game. So first off, we have the main character of his own spin-off game, Shadow. And for Shadow, I'm fan casting Keanu Reeves. I mean, come on, this is obvious. I'm pretty sure most of you guys saw this coming. So, basically, the main reason why I casted Keanu Reeves as Shadow is because, I mean, he's literally the most popular fan cast for the character, and he's always been my number one choice, my personal number one choice for Shadow. So I'm hoping that Keanu Reeves, or someone like Keanu Reeves, voices Shadow in Sonic Movie 3, since Shadow is going to be a big part of Sonic Movie 3. But if that doesn't happen, at least I'm fan casting him here. And I know there's other really good choices besides Keanu Reeves for voice actors that can voice Shadow, like Robert Pattinson, who played Batman, and just any Batman actor or voice actor would really work for Shadow. Let's be honest, like literally any Batman actor or voice actor would be great for Shadow. But Keanu Reeves is, like I said, he's the most popular fan cast for Shadow, so instead of going with a Batman actor, I'm gonna be going with him. And I know you guys are already sold on Keanu Reeves as Shadow because, I mean, like I said, he's the most popular fan cast for the character, and he's perfect. But just to really make my point, I'm gonna be telling you guys all the reasons why I think Keanu Reeves is the perfect actor to play Shadow. And one of the biggest reasons for why people fan cast him as Shadow is probably because of one particular role that he's been in before. There's one specific role that really makes him perfect for Shadow. And that role is the role of John Wick. Now, I don't know that much about John Wick, but I have heard of John Wick, and I know it's Keanu Reeves' most iconic role. And there's so many reasons why, because of John Wick, Keanu Reeves is perfect for Shadow. I mean, come on. Like, all the evidence is right there. I mean, Shadow and John Wick are both characters in black. They both have deep voices like this. And they both use guns. I mean, come on. It's perfect. And another reason, which isn't as important as the other reasons I mentioned, but another reason why I think he would be great for Shadow is because he's an actor, but he's also no stranger to being in kids' movies. I mean, we've seen him in movies like the SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run, where he played the tumbleweed Sage, and we've seen him voice Batman in DC League of Super Pets. So, voicing Shadow, I think not only would be fun for him, but I think he would actually love to voice Shadow since, Shadow is very similar to a character that he really loves playing, which is John Wick. So I think he would really enjoy voicing Shadow, not just because he also loves voice acting, but Shadow is very similar to his character John Wick. So, yeah. And there's just one more thing I want to show you guys to let you know that he's perfect for this character. Listen to this.
Tell me how I separated my mind from my body without jacking in. Tell me how I stopped 4 sentinels by thinking it. Everything ends now. When Ellen died, I lost everything. Took that from me. Stole that from me.
See? That just makes it even better. That just makes it even more obvious that Keanu Reeves is the guy to play Shadow. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get on to our next fan cast, which is Gerald Robotnik. And for Gerald Robotnik, I'm fan casting Danny DeVito. Now, when I was looking for an actor to fan cast as Gerald Robotnik, it was kind of strange because when I went to the list of fan casts for Gerald Robotnik, I saw that one of those choices was the actor that I fan casted as Eggman in the first part of my live action Modern Sonic fan cast, which is Alfred Molina. So strangely enough, Alfred Molina was the fan cast for both Eggman and Gerald Robotnik. So I just ignored Alfred Molina because I've already casted him as Eggman. But I found this other actor that, with a couple of upgrades to his look, he looks exactly like Gerald Robotnik. And that is, like I said, Danny DeVito. And I don't think Danny would mind playing a character with a small role like this. And I don't know why, but I think he would get along really well with Alfred Molina. And of course we won't see Gerald and Eggman in the same place, since Gerald Robotnik is dead. But if the live action Modern Sonic that I'm making was actually real and they were actually acting in the movie, I think Alfred Molina and Danny DeVito would actually get along really well, like in real life, like behind the scenes or real life or something. So, yeah. And there's one more thing. For those of you who want to know what Danny DeVito looks like as Gerald Robotnik, I'm going to show him to you right now. So, like I did for Alfred Molina as Eggman for the first part of my live-action Modern Sonic Fancast video, I did the same thing with Danny DeVito as Gerald Robotnik. And I used PixArt to turn him into Gerald Robotnik. And it's like I said before, it's basically like I put the mustache on him and a lab coat, and there you go. He's Gerald Robotnik. So if you look closer, you can see the little details of Danny DeVito as Gerald. You can see that there's a little crack on his glasses because, Gerald Robotnik is a scientist. He created Shadow, and, sometimes scientists get into a lab accident. So maybe while he was trying to create Shadow, maybe something in his lab exploded, and that's why he has a crack on his glasses. And if you look at his coat, you can see that there's some dark spots on his coat. that is like from the explosion. Like after something in his lab exploded while he was working on Shadow, his lab coat got all messed up, and yeah. So that makes this look realistic. Like he just witnessed an explosion in his lab, and you can see it on the crack on his glasses and the dark spots on his lab coats. So yeah. And there's one more little detail, which is his little ID on his lab coat, because all genius scientists need to have an ID so people know who they are. So it's just a little ID I made with a picture of him and with his name on it, Professor Gerald Robotnik, just to make it look even more legit than it already is. So yeah, man, these two look great side by side. Anyways, let's move on to the next character to Fancast, which is Maria Robotnik. And for Maria, I'm fancasting Darby Camp. So I've talked about Darby Camp a couple of times before on this channel, and it's great to talk about her again. If you've been watching my channel for a while, then you're probably familiar with my Ben 10 fanfiction I made called Ben 10 Hero Time. And in that fanfiction, I casted Darby Camp as Gwen Tennyson. And now I'm fancasting her in another fancast video, but this time I'm casting her as Maria Robotnik. So right away, you look at Darby and you look at Maria, and you're probably saying, but Cool Man 1, Darby Camp doesn't have blonde hair. How is she supposed to play Maria, who has blonde hair? Well, to that I say, she doesn't really need blonde hair to play Maria. I mean, seriously, if you look at her past roles, like, for example, Emily Elizabeth in the Clifford movie, like, okay, so Emily Elizabeth from Clifford is a good example. So, you look at the books, the Clifford books, and the Clifford cartoons, and if you grew up watching Clifford, you know that Emily has always had blonde hair. But in the live-action movie, in the live-action Clifford movie, you have Darby Camp playing Emily, and she doesn't have blonde hair. Darby Camp's hair is brown. She doesn't really have blonde hair, and yet she still did a phenomenal job as Emily Elizabeth. And that's basically why I had absolutely no problem casting her as Maria. And she also has that adorable nature to her when she plays characters like Emily Elizabeth that makes her so perfect for roles like this, because, I mean, she's just really good at playing young characters. So that's why I casted her as Gwen in my Ben 10 fanfiction, and that's also why I'm casting her as Maria here, because Maria's such a nice, sweet, and adorable character, and Darby Camp has proved that she can play characters like that. So yeah, that's really where that came from. And I'm probably the only one who has a totally different fan cast for Maria, like an actress who isn't blonde. But I don't really care. I mean, if you look at Darby's movies in the past, you'll know exactly why she would be really good for this role. She doesn't even need blonde hair. And to prove my point, just like I did for Eggman and Gerald Robotnik, I used Pixar to turn Darby Camp into Maria without blonde hair. So let me know what you guys think of this. So this is what Darby Camp looks like as Maria Robotnik. And it's not much, it's basically just Darby Camp in a blue dress, but you can already tell she would be great for this role. I mean, Darby Camp's smile is literally the same smile Maria has. I can totally see her playing the best version of Maria. Though I'm not sure how committed Darby's gonna be to be in a movie where they kill off her character. But aside from that, I think she would have fun playing Maria. I think, she's already been in other kids' movies with like CGI and stuff, like the Clifford movie. So if she played Maria, I think she would pretend that there was a black hedgehog in front of her, and she would have a lot of fun with that. Though it would be really sad if, when she played Maria, if they killed her off in the movie. That would be pretty sad. But aside from that, I think she would be perfect as Maria. And yeah. Anyways, the last character I'm fan casting here is the G.U.N. commander. And I'm casting Samuel L. Jackson as the commander. So this one's a pretty interesting fan cast, because when I was looking for fan casts for the gun commander, surprisingly, I didn't like any of the choices on there. But then I saw Samuel L. Jackson on the choices, and I was like, wait, why is Samuel L. Jackson on there? And then I immediately thought of one specific role from Samuel L. Jackson that really pushed me to cast him as the gun commander. And that role is his role of Nick Fury in Marvel, in the Avengers movies. Cause when I thought about it, the gun commander and Nick Fury are actually very similar. I mean, they're both commanders of a team of regular people that take care of really dangerous situations when the superheroes aren't around. And not just that, but when Samuel L. Jackson plays Nick Fury, he has that commanding, tough attitude that a commander is supposed to have. And that's what makes him so perfect for this role. And if you're still not convinced, check out these clips of him as Nick Fury.
You have become a problem I have to deal with. Contrary to your belief, you are not the center of my universe. Yeah, I have bigger problems than you in the Southwest region to deal with. Get our communications back up, whatever you have to do. I want eyes on everything.
And that right there shows exactly why he should be the commander. In the first part, where we see Nick Fury arguing with Iron Man about him being a problem, it's like if the gun commander was arguing with Shadow about him being a problem in the city. Because if you played the Shadow game, you would know that the gun commander hates Shadow and he wants to take him down, and he thinks he's a problem. And I mean, Nick Fury is friends with Iron Man, but at first he thought of Iron Man as a problem. He thought of Tony Stark as a problem. So that's basically the same thing. And in the second part, where we see Nick Fury giving a command to Maria Hill, it's like if the gun commander was giving a command to one of the soldiers to go after Shadow. So, I mean, that's basically the same thing. And now that you heard some of the reasons why I think Samuel L. Jackson would be a great actor for the gun commander, I bet you want to know what he looks like. So, here you go. So this is what Samuel L. Jackson looks like as the gun commander. Now, he doesn't look that much like the gun commander, but when you look at his outfit, man, he looks cool in that outfit. Man, I can just imagine Samuel L. Jackson as the gun commander looking like that, going like, I want all units on the Hedgehog now. He's a threat to the city and I want him dead. And if the G.U.N. soldiers can't find him, it would be really cool if they go, but sir, we can't find him anywhere. There's nothing we can do. I think he's on our side. And then he goes like, "Are you saying I'm wrong? I know he's a threat, and I want him gone before he creates any more damage. Understand?" And then he can go, "I have to do everything myself." And then he goes after Shadow on his own. Man, that would be awesome. But we're getting sidetracked here. Back to the outfit. So as I stated, I think Samuel L. Jackson would be really cool as the gun commander. And as you can see, of course, he's in his commander outfit. But if you look closer, there's also some little details in there. Yup, just like Gerald Robotnik, the gun commander also has some little details that I included in his outfit. For example, if you zoom into the right side of the suit, you can see that he has a G.U.N commander badge, because he's the commander. So he's gotta have a badge. And, you know, like, when I was turning Samuel L. Jackson into the gun commander, I just chose a regular commander suit. The commander suit didn't have, like, the G.U.N badge on it. I put the badge on the suit, so that was really fun. And the other little detail is on the left side of the outfit. If you zoom into the left, you can see that there's a little rectangle that says tower on it. Now, if you're wondering what tower is, that's actually, according to Google, that's actually the commander's name, Abraham Tower. And you might think his name is Commander Walters, but that's his name in the Sonic movie franchise. But I'm using my own version of the commander with the name that Google confirms is his real name. So, according to Google, it says that the commander's name in the games, like in the Shadow game, is Abraham Tower. So that's the name I went with on the little name tag thing on his outfit. So yeah, Samuel L. Jackson as Commander Tower. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about my fan cast for a live action modern Sonic movie, part 2. It was really fun fan casting the characters for the Shadow game. I didn't think this was going to be part 2, but I just love that the Shadow game has so many unique characters, because most of the characters in the Shadow game are humans, so they're fun, but they're also more relatable. And like, basically it's just like Shadow and Sonic in the game, I think. And basically, like, the rest of the characters are humans. The Commander, Maria, Gerald Robotnik, Eggman. So yeah, and I love that about the game, because I mean, we haven't seen, like, we barely see humans in Sonic besides Eggman. So with them being able to give us stuff like the Shadow game, the Sonic movie franchise, the anime Sonic X, which all have human characters. It's great, and it's just so fun to fan cast those characters and see what they look like in live action. So yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this part. Let me know if you guys like my fan cast for these characters. And let me know if you want to see a part 3, because honestly, I'm having a blast with this, and there's still plenty of Sonic characters to fan cast that I already have fan casts for, like Silver, Rouge. There's other characters, and I don't know. I think if you guys like this one, maybe I could do a third part. So let me know. Anyways, that's all for this video, and as always, stay cool.